Hey y'all, happy 2018. Coming to you from my small little amateur blacksmith shop here in Dallas, Texas. I'm not talking about blacksmithing today though. I'm going to talk about something that I am an expert in and that the inaccuracies I am seeing are driving me crazy about. So, what I want to talk about is white pride. I want to talk about politicians going around posting in their Twitter feed that it's okay to be white. I want to talk about white supremacy, just very briefly. First of all, I am an expert on being white. In another month, I will have been white for 49 years. According to 23andMe, my genetics are 99.9% European, with 0.1% unassigned. Of that, something like 66% is Scotch, Irish, English, 10% is German, 1.7% is Scandinavian, and another 17% is broadly Northwestern European. So I am about as white gets. You can't be whiter than me. When people talk about things like it's okay to be white, or they say things like white pride, why can't we have white pride? Black people have black pride. So what's wrong with being proud of being white? I have to say to them, first of all, what you're telling the world isn't that you're proud to be white. What you're instead telling the world is that you are terrified of people who are not white. You are frightened of men who believe differently than you, who worship Allah rather than God or Jehovah. These men scare you. You're telling the world that 14% of the population, African Americans, terrify you, the majority of the population, the majority of the wealthy, the vast majority of the billionaires and millionaires who make up the world, the vast majority of Congress, the vast majority of the Supreme Court, the vast majority of the whole judicial system, the vast majority of elected representatives all through the United States. You're saying that this tiny little bit of population is very threatening to you. You're telling us you're a coward, is what you're telling us. The other thing I want to tell you is when you go around saying, well, how can blacks get black pride and whites don't get white pride? We all know you're a liar. And the reason we know you're lying is because you have plenty of organizations for white pride. It's called the Irish American Association. It's called the Irish Festival. It's called the Italian Americans. It's called the German Americans. I went and visited the DFW International Relations page and looked up the European organizations, and it's over a page long. Every possible country you can imagine is there. You have these organizations to express your pride. Blacks don't. You know why? We took them over here without their permission. We stripped them of their clothing, their culture, their language, their religion, their heritage, their family. So all they've got is black pride. All they've got is the pride in overcoming centuries of us trying to grind them down, of us taking away their agency, their ability to be themselves. And they have overcome it, and goddamn right they should be proud of it. You're threatened by that, and that's just pitiful and sad. Because I gotta tell you, as a white man, I'm not threatened by my Latino neighbors. I'm not threatened by my Muslim neighbors. I'm not threatened by my black neighbors. They're my friends. They're my co-workers. They're my neighbors. They enrich me. They teach me. And I teach them too. It's a two-way street. When you think of the United States of America, there are some words that come to mind, and that's e pluribus unum, out of many one. Our founding fathers never once thought about integrating blacks and integrating Muslims and giving women the vote. They were thinking about property rights for property holding white men. They weren't even thinking about you, the poor white guy. Over time, we've expanded the franchise and made things better. What's so threatening to you about that? Maybe you should look inside yourself and consider what you could do other than blaming others to take control of your life and give yourself agency. Something to think about in 2018.